Are you in the market for a new pair of tweezers? There are a lot of tweezers out there, and they all look a lot alike. So how can you tell that those tweezers are the ones for you? We get a ton of questions here at Esslinger.com about that very thing. Hi, I'm Anna, and today I want to share with you some of the differences between a few of our most popular Swiss-made Dumont tweezers, and why you would need one pair over another. Let's start with some basic things you can expect from our Dumont tweezers that are made of non-magnetic stainless steel. This metal keeps your tweezers from becoming magnetized and accidentally polarizing your delicate watch parts, making them great for working with watch movements or other electronics. Additionally, this design will prevent your small metal pieces from sticking to your tweezers. And tweezers made of this kind of steel will also be resistant to acid damage as well as corrosion and rust. So, since these tweezers share many of the same advantages, what might make one pair more useful to you than another? Let's take a look. The first three tweezers that we're going to discuss today are the number 1, the number 3, and the number 3C pattern ones. They are your standard style tweezers, with shanks that taper evenly to sharp points, allowing you to complete a variety of general tasks, including sorting, inspecting, and general repair work. The biggest difference between these three tweezers is their overall length and the width of their tips. The number 1 pattern tweezer has long, sharp tips that are 12/100ths of a millimeter long, and they have an overall length of 4.5 inches. This style is known for its strong, gripping tips. The number 3 pattern tweezer is almost identical to the number 1 pattern, except that the tips come to a finer and sharper point. These tweezers have points that are just 1/10 of a millimeter wide. Because of these sharp, fine points, this style is ideal for working with the finer aspects of watchmaking and general repair work. And then there is the number 3C pattern tweezer, which takes the fineness of the number 3 style tweezers and makes it smaller. The tips of these tweezers are still 1/10 of a millimeter wide, but their overall length is reduced to approximately 4.25 inches. This size gives you greater control over the delicate work required in watch repair, making it a very popular tweezer among watchmakers. When deciding between these three general styles, the real differences are slight, but they can make a big difference in your work. If you need a larger gripping surface, you might want to stick with the number 1 style tweezer. Or if your fingers get cramped from holding small things all day, the number 3 style might be more comfortable for you. Or maybe you work with really small pieces and need greater control over your tweezers, making the number 3C style the right one for you. If none of these fit your needs, you'll want to check out the next 3 tweezers I have for you. Next, we have the number 5 pattern tweezer, which is the tweezer equivalent to a needle nose pliers. Instead of tapering evenly to a fine point like the previous tweezer, the tips of this pair narrow to needle-fine points immediately. At the tips, they are just 6/100ths of a millimeter wide, which is much narrower than the other tweezers we have seen today. This makes this pair particularly well suited to handling delicate watch parts like hairsprings. Then you have the number 7 pattern titanium tweezer. While the titanium style tweezers have all the benefits of the non-magnetic stainless steel ones, they are also more resistant to wear and lighter than your traditional steel, making them a tougher and more durable alternative to the stainless steel tweezers. Since the titanium is so light, you can use these tweezers comfortably for hours. The number 7 pattern also makes this particular pair of tweezers additionally useful for handling miniature and micro-miniature parts. Because these tweezers have curved shanks and sharp tips that are 1/10 of a millimeter wide, they allow you to rest your hand on your workbench and still easily maneuver small watch parts into a movement. This makes these tweezers ideal for doing fine and detailed work for hours at a time. And finally, you have the number 3C pattern carbon tweezers. Remember when we talked about tweezers being non-magnetic and resistant to acid? These tweezers are made out of carbon steel, which makes them stronger than your typical stainless steel model and more resistant to bending. However, they are also more susceptible to things like corrosion and are magnetized due to the particular metal alloy. But you shouldn't just write off a pair of carbon steel tweezers because of those facts. The tips of these tweezers are only 6/100ths of a millimeter wide, smaller than the tips of a number 3C non-magnetic stainless steel tweezer, making them great for working with micro-miniature parts like the number 5 model tweezer. If you don't anticipate working with corrosive materials or electronic parts and need a pair of tweezers that are a little stronger but still allow you to have detailed control in your work, this is the pair for you. Now that you know a little more about the options you have when choosing your next pair of tweezers and some of the strengths of these common tweezer styles, I hope you feel confident in your ability to choose the right tweezer for you. Whether you choose a non-magnetic option or a carbon steel tweezer, a sharp point or a needle point pair, you can find your next pair of tweezers at Esslinger.com today.